Aloha, folks. My name is Spoonks, and welcome back to another episode of Box Office Chat. This is the show where we break down what happened in the top 5 domestic box office results this weekend, see where each movie landed, and see how well each movie is doing. So let's jump right on into it. Number 5 is Monster Hunter, which made $735,000 this weekend, bringing its domestic total to $11 million and its worldwide gross to $22 million. So while it's not doing nearly as well as other movies, and these numbers aren't really that good on their own, I will say that this movie is holding on to the top 5 pretty well, or at least longer than I thought. So I do have to admit that this movie still being at number 5 is very impressive, but then again, this is really all I can say for this movie, as anything else would just be repeating myself. It's not nearly doing as well, it made less than half of its budget, and what else you gonna do? At least it was released, but still, the fact that it's still able to be in the top 5 and it's been holding strong for this long, good enough. And while this movie's hold is definitely impressive, the same cannot be said for the number 4 movie, which is The Marksman, which made $1.2 million this weekend, bringing its domestic total to $7 million and its worldwide total to $9 million. So while this movie didn't have like a huge drop of like over 50%, the fact that it was the number 1 movie 2 weeks in a row and then fell to number 4, well, isn't like heartbreaking. It is surprising to say the least, because honestly, Thief back in October was able to have a strong hold. Like in its third weekend was like the number 2 movie, and then it just gradually declined. Well, this movie is just doing it right now, and I definitely feel that this will just end up playing out like Honest Thief, and this might be one of the very last times we see this movie on the top 5. But Stranger Things happened before. Like I said, Monster Hunter has been holding strong to that number 5, so maybe The Marksman can have a fighting chance, but right now it's not looking too good. Number 3 is Wonder Woman 1984, which made $1.3 million, adding to a domestic total of $39 million and a worldwide total of $150 million. So $40 million's in the bag. This will definitely become the third movie post-pandemic to cross $40 million. How long that will take? Probably by the end of the week, since Warner Brothers doesn't release daily numbers anymore. Although I do not think this movie will make more money, seeing how interest is declining, and while this movie's been able to hold on to that number 3 spot, I feel like it'll just keep dropping off and dropping off until it's no longer in the top 5 anymore pretty soon. Because like I said, interest is dropping off. People just didn't really like this movie, and I feel like it's on its way out. However, a thing to add on to this statement is that this is the first time, well, on the show at least, that Wonder Woman is no longer on HBO Max. You cannot watch this movie on HBO Max. You now have to go to a theater or drive-in to see this movie, unless of course it returns to HBO Max when it's available on digital HD and Blu-ray DVD. So maybe being a theater exclusive and it leaving HBO Max might help it out a little, and it being at number 3 isn't a bad thing, and these holds aren't the worst thing in the world. These are some of the best holds it's had in its theatrical run, but interest in this movie is definitely starting to dwindle. Number 2 is The Croods: A New Age, which made $1.8 million this weekend, adding to a domestic total of $43 million and a worldwide total of $144 million. This is the film's 10th weekend in its entire domestic run, and it's also available to watch on video on demand, and it's going to be on digital and Blu-ray by the end of the month, and it's still the second highest grossing movie at the domestic box office. That is amazing. You wouldn't see headlines or movies do this business, well, not this business last year because they were making more money than they are now, but hearing a movie in its 10th consecutive weekend being the number 2 film, even though it's been out for months on end, is stellar to say the least. It's impressive, especially during these times where other movies, like I said before, have not been able to make the type of business this movie has. And I definitely think 50 million is in the bag to say it's 2 million from 45 million, and it'll make that by the end of the week. So I definitely think that it'll be able to make 50 million. And again, while I still don't think it'll make more money than Tenet, I think it will get very close. It won't make enough to beat it, but it will get. But this is definitely something Christopher Nolan has to keep his eye out on, because the way this movie's been doing at the box office is both impressive and scary if you are Christopher Nolan. And finally, let's end the video off here with the number one movie of the weekend, and that is The Little Things, which made 4.8 million in its first weekend domestically, and worldwide it has made a total of 7 million. So yeah, like The Marksman, in line where I thought it would be. It would open to number one, but not drastically impact the box office. I didn't see a whole lot of promotion for this, and not a lot of people that I know were really talking about it. But there was definitely some advertising promotion that I did see, and I guess that might have helped this movie get the word around to make it the number one movie in America. And just like The Marksman, it has a reported $30 million budget, and this opening is impressive, but until you realize that this is another Warner Brothers movie, and so it for this whole year they're doing the same thing they did with Wonder Woman, which is release it in theaters and on HBO Max. So this movie did a day and date thing, and I'm pretty sure thanks to HBO Max, the movie was able to recuperate some of that budget at least, because unlike Wonder Woman, which is a really expensive movie, 30 million is very easy to make back, especially if you're a streaming movie. So don't know if this movie will be able to hold on to this number one for a while. Well, it probably will, considering that there are no releases hitting theaters this weekend, but I feel like this will definitely be like The Marksman once again, at just compared to the openings and how this movie is doing, where the audiences and critics who have seen it, because it's not pretty. But it was still able to become the number one movie in America this weekend, so I'm pretty sure the filmmakers and the crew and Warner Brothers are definitely happy about that. And that was the top 5 domestic box office results for this weekend. And once again, no new box office video this weekend, as there are no new releases until next week, when Judas and the Black Messiah and I believe Land will be expanding into wide release, and Judas will be releasing, and it's also another Warner Brothers movie, so another day and date release. Hearing some good things about those movies, yet not a lot of promotion, so we'll see how they do when they release, and see if they make a major impact on the next box office chat. And that's going to do it for this week's episode of Box Office Chat. What did you guys think of the results? Were you satisfied, unsatisfied? Comment down below and let me know. If you like this video, hit the like button. If you like this channel, hit that subscribe button. Follow me on all the social media links right there. And until next time, guys, stay sharp.